that Whose Line Is It Anyway is coming to the Lansdowne Theater, and I would also like to see that.
Yeah. It depends on who's coming, but yeah.
It's the ones from the TV show. The tall, lanky guy, the guy with.
It's a matter of who's with them when they come.
So Colin, what's his name?
Colin.
Yeah, Colin Mockery does a commercial for something. I don't know what the commercial's for, but it's funny as hell because he's like, I've never improvised a thing in my life. Everything is scripted, and like people are like following him around with cue cards and shit.
Right.
It's really it's entertaining. But
I think Wayne Brady's doing his own thing right now, so Wayne may not be with him.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't. It was all white guys on the poster. It was the tall, lanky guy from Drew Carey. It was the guy with male pattern baldness that has bad teeth. It was the guy who's not gay, but he kind of sounds gay sometimes. Has dark hair. Well, now it's great because he's old.
Yeah, I think I know who you mean.
All right. Well,
is that Greg Proops?
Oh, I have no idea.
You guys want to get started?
Yeah, let me turn my air conditioner off. Shut the door.
All right.
Take my last obnoxious sip.
There you go.
I do wish Sierra Mist was still a thing. It was very limey. I should have wiped these down because Isla was all over them.
We should go into why there is no Sierra Mist anymore.
Why is there?
There was a lawsuit. There's a woman named Sierra Mist, and she's a spicy actress. And they sued her, but she won right to the name because it's her name. So since they didn't want to be, you know what I mean? They didn't want to be associated with.
I never knew that in my whole life. I was just like, oh, so we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen?
Between Sprite, what happened to 7-Up?
7-Up is still there.
Okay, because between Sprite, 7-Up, and Sierra Mist, dude, Sierra Mist is at the bottom of that.
Oh my god, I love Sierra Mist. Sierra Mist was more lime than lemon.
Ooh, 7-Up and whiskey? Oh,
I love 7-Up.
7-Up is still here for the 50+ crowd. Okay, they still sell it at Walgreens.
For the 50+ crowd, they still sell it at Walgreens. You hear this? All right, you ready to start?
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, we've been live streaming for 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
Okay,
so I just figured.
Does it matter if I read from the top 3 document or from the?
They're the same. I only made the top 3 document out of pure habit. Just
good.
It's
it's my preference. So
I understand.
All right. All right. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, search and rescue crews mistake Jay Leno's chin for a lost hiker's distress signal. New Jersey addiction counselor and sober living author needed a better example of rock bottom for his new book, Oh Fuck, I Got Hammered and Killed a Bunch of People. And see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Give me that Heiner, Weimeriner. But more on that later. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast.
It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage knife of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Maddie Rockdeath, the Maddiest of all Rockdeaths, and proof positive. Anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, Welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to take a minute to thank all the new subscribers for the support, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or if you're just checking us out on the MediaVirus.com. Thank you. We are now able to take calls on the air again, so give us a call at 646-VIRUS-01. Yes, that's 646-VIRUS-01. You will make it on the show. That's how we do. That's right. Episode 199, guys. This is a pretty big deal.
Oh, it's almost a milestone.
There's a lot of podcasts out there that don't make it, past 8. And here we are breaking every podcast rule. And we've made it to 199. So, I mean, basically for every week for 199 weeks in a row, we have convened our recording session. And what we do is we live stream that session. Mike right now is running a separate local recording, and that gets posted to all of the podcast platforms. So if you've been ghosted, if you've been hurt by a podcast that you really liked and are fearful of giving your heart away again like that, we can assure you the consistency that you crave in your podcast. And if you subscribe now, you will have access to over 497 hours of uncensored, unbelievable, nihilistic nonsense from the past 3.754716981132075 years. And that number keeps growing. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone now and dial 1-646-VIRUS-01 and say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Each call will be entered to win a once-in-a-lifetime appearance on a real podcast. And we have over 497 hours of podcasting to prove it. So tell your friends, tell a coworker, and, tell them that you don't know these dudes. You don't know who they are or why they do what they do, but they do it every week. And sometimes they're funny.
Almost 500 hours of entertainment.
That's a value for the low price of absolutely nothing. Just subscribe. You can you will have, I mean, you have anyway, but you have access to almost, by the end of episode 200, there will be almost exactly 500 hours. And the reason that I'm like, I know, Ricky said almost a milestone.
I believe that's over 3 solid weeks of listening, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, impossible. So if we do it for 12 hours a day, then that's 6 months.
But the almost milestone, and that's why I picked, 199, because it's so close to 200. Yeah, it's so close. And 200, we can.
It's almost like a week away.
Yeah, it's almost like it's next week.
And
you know what I mean?
The funny thing is, we could say fuck it and not have a 200th episode, but we're not going to do that.
Well, we could.
Dude, that is
up for discussion.
Seriously, there is over 20 hours. Over 20 hours. To be exact, it's 20.7083333 days. 20 days. I said hours. 20 days of pure entertainment. Pure entertainment.
Not like pure like white.
No, pure like uncut. Pure, yeah, like we don't mix it with baby laxatives. You're getting the good stuff right into your veins.
Giving Columbia.
That's right.
That's not to say that our podcast may make you shit.
It's
not
happened.
The same.
It's happened. I've heard people do use it as a laxative to, on the. Anyway.
Speaking of which, we have 2 people who are viewing us live right now.
That's fantastic. I'm looking at my monologue. But speaking of funny, do you guys remember me telling you the story of in the 8th grade talent show where me and my friend Keith wanted to lip sync to the song Wipeout?
Well, I think I remember that.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, they did not allow us to do that.
Oddly?
because it was stupid and showed no talent. So it was kind of like a contradiction to the talent show.
Well,
So
they clearly didn't understand your comedic prowess.
no, they didn't understand why this was good at all.
Damn Catholic.
But so we had to come up with something else, and he decided that he wanted to do his own thing. I forget what it was. And everybody used to kind of make fun of me and say that I looked like Jay Leno. So I did a Jay Leno impersonation whilst holding a bag of Doritos. And and at the end of it, I did the line, "Crunch all you want, we'll make more." And I got an applause.
Nice.
Did he endorse that back in the day?
I don't think. Well, he endorsed Doritos. That was
Oh.
yes.
He was there.
I understand that. Like, I think that you were maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So, but I was old enough to remember and be in a talent show.
Well.
But speaking of Jay Leno, he didn't really have a wild time. He just, I guess it would be confusing for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he made an unexpected cameo in a mountain rescue. Good afternoon, listeners. This is Media Virus Podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest in news and entertainment. I'm the executive producer, the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris. And boy, do we have a show for you. And a story. Picture this. A serene hike in the San Gabriel Mountains. The sun shining, birds chirping, and Jay Leno? That's right, folks. Our beloved TV icon found himself in the middle of a real-life adventure. It all started when a search and rescue team was out looking for a missing hiker, 78-year-old Ki Su Yang, who had been separated from his group while hiking on Mount Waterman.
Listen, I'm going to say this. If you're 78 years old, there's not a fucking reason in the world for you to go hiking on Mount Waterman.
Okay.
Well,
all right? Take a walk around the mall. Okay? You want your exercise? Go to the Mall of America. Okay? You might get beat up by some teenagers.
Take the stairs.
Right?
As the team scoured the rugged terrain, who should they bump into but Jay Leno himself, out for a drive with friends. While Jay didn't have
what if he was dumping a body, like he just finished burying a body in a bunch of rescue?
Hey,
can you imagine? I haven't seen him.
Hey, how you guys doing? What are you doing?
Okay. Hey, you guys want some Doritos? We could like he's a serial killer, and he stalks those woods, and he killed the hiker, and just buried him.
We could write a serial.
You know what I mean? This is a better story than the news.
It is. But while Jay didn't have any clues about the missing hiker, he did take a moment to snap a photo with the rescue team. Talk about a star-studded search party.
I like how it's worded. He took a moment to snap a photo with the rescue team. Not the rescue team stopped looking for this bitch to get a picture with Jay Leno.
I'm sure Jay Leno wasn't like, "Hi, can we get a picture?" Like, I've heard him on so many podcast interviews. That's not his vibe.
Look, don't you guys have something you should be doing?
You guys seem busy.
Oh, Mike, that was actually really good.
It is. This is way better.
Do you guys really have time for that? After 30 hours in the Angeles National Forest, Mr. Yang was found safe and sound, albeit a bit dehydrated. He was airlifted to safety and reunited with his family thanks to the tireless efforts of the search and rescue teams and the helpful Good Samaritan. Now, again, tireless? Are you really a tireless rescue team if you stop and take...
Jay Leno took the rescue team to a bar and had a beer.
If you stop for a selfie with Jay Leno, are you really tireless in what you were supposed to?
I don't think that counts as tireless,
So next time you're out for a hike, keep your eyes peeled. You never know who you might run into. This is Professor Mike Latour signing off. Stay safe and keep exploring.
That's incredible. You know what I mean? I just thought it was funny, and it was an easy
You guys
It's
don't
an easy
believe
story to transition to out of my monologue because, I literally they used to call me Jay Leno. I had a little streak of, blonde in the hair and everything. And I looked like I didn't have a beard.
That's
Well, I guess without a beard, I look like Jay Leno. Actually, I've been told.
Interesting. Do you have a big funny chin? Looks like a bicycle seat.
Yeah, I keep cracking it. But I've been told that without a beard, what I looked like was. Do you remember Shrek 2?
Yeah.
Where they turned Shrek into a human?
Yeah.
I look like the human version of Shrek. And one of the fucking reasons why I worked at a place back in 2011, and every once in a while I would shave my face just to feel what a shaved face feels like.
Yeah.
Dude, a shaved face feels so nice. It's so smooth.
Every now and again,
And I had a boss say, "You know what you look like? You look like when," and he explained it.
Right.
However, they started calling me Shrek.
Well, that's nice.
With no
context.
Not human Shrek. They didn't call me human. They just called me Shrek.
Right.
And I didn't.
The guy that I worked for, he was a large man, and at some point he decided to shave his head.
Huh.
And it sort of made him look like Shrek, but not green.
That's funny.
And well, I had a day off, and I needed to stop in the office. I think I had to pick up a pay stub or something, and I had my niece with me, and she really, really loved Shrek. So I walk in through the front door and say hi to the receptionist, and we step into the hall to walk down the hall to go where I needed to go and get my thing. And he was coming up the hall from the shop. He had been out to have a cigarette. And the silhouette, because there was light coming in from the shop behind him, the hallway was a little darkened. And my niece got all excited, and I had to cover her mouth so she didn't scream Shrek.
That's pretty funny. I'd rather look like human Shrek than, but I got so angry at that place. I thought about tying one on and hitting them with my car.
Well, that works for some people.
I didn't, because I decided against it. I just quit.
You didn't want to cause a tragedy in the park on Independence Day when it turns deadly in Manhattan. Good evening, listeners. This is TMVP News, bringing you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Mike Latoris. Our top story tonight, a tragic incident in Manhattan's Lower East Side has left the community in shock. On the evening of July 4th, a substance abuse counselor from New Jersey, Daniel Hayden, drove his gray F-150 truck into Corlears Hook Park, resulting in the deaths of 3 people and injuries to 8 others. Witnesses say the 44-year-old Hayden was speeding on Water Street before blowing through a stop sign and crashing into the park where families were celebrating Independence Day. The victim.
Think he passed out, or do you think he did it deliberately?
I don't know. The victims include a mother and her son, identified as Lucille and Herman Pinkney, along with Anna Morell. Hayden, who has a background as a substance abuse counselor and author, was reportedly involved in an altercation at Pier 36 earlier that evening. Denied entry due to his intoxicated state, he left the venue, leading to a tragic crash about 50 minutes later. Now
people might look at this and go, Matt, there's nothing funny about this. There's nothing. And I get entertained when people who have the balls to claim they know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go off and fuck up their lives. And fuck up a whole bunch of other people's lives and some lives.
Sure.
Like he went full balls out. And it seemed to me, it really seems like this was a conscious decision.
It does seem that way.
You know what I mean? Like he just decided to piss it all away. And there's beauty in that. You know,
and for me, it's the juxtaposition of being drunk and committing this heinous act while you are supposed to be the guy that helps people to not be drunk and commit these heinous acts.
Right. That's the entertainment level. That's why it made the A block.
He now faces multiple charges, including driving under the influence, vehicular homicide, and assault. Authorities have confirmed that Hayden was not wearing a seatbelt and had a suspended license at the time of the crash.
Why the hell was his license suspended? That's my question. This probably isn't the first time he fell off the line. I don't think he knows shit. He's probably been drinking the whole time he's been a counselor, and living sober's easy. Yeah, I can do it. You know what I mean? Walk around with vodka in a water bottle and shit.
It is a definite possibility.
I think so.
No matter how you slice it, our thoughts are with the victims' families during this difficult time. Stay tuned to TMVP News for more updates on this developing story.
Thoughts and prayers. Let's give it everything. Everything we got, dude. Thoughts?
The copy said thoughts.
No, I know. I realize I should have.
That's really more my style. I offer
thoughts.
Thoughts.
Not prayers.
No.
You hold.
Well, not everybody's into prayers.
Pray.
Everybody
thinks, but not everybody prays.
I don't think everybody thinks either.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna tell you. I think I got some firsthand experience. I mean, everybody thinks, not all the time though. It's tiring to think all the time. You know, it's tiring to think about the next story. Let me say this.
Do it.
Originally that the headline on the story that we decided to do was it's funny, British crocodile expert. Holy shit, Big Daddy's here during A block.
Oh,
what's going on, guy?
Good evening, Big Daddy.
Not much. Surprise, bitches.
So the headline was, British crocodile expert gets 10 years in prison for sexually assaulting dogs. That's funny, right? But reading the story, I decided I didn't like it. I didn't like this story.
Okay.
And I knew that Copilot was not going to write a straight up news read.
Okay.
For the story. So to kind of a compromise, my heart and what Copilot will put out. Yeah. I asked for a public service announcement as to why it is irresponsible for us to report on this story using explicit details from the story.
Okay. Well, let me see what we can do about that, because
to me that's really fucking funny.
I have copy. Promoting responsible media, the impact of sharing. Attention listeners, this is a special public service announcement from TMVP News. Today, we want to address the importance of responsible media consumption and the impact of sharing distressing news stories. Recently, a deeply disturbing case came to light involving a British crocodile expert, Adam Britton, who was sentenced to over 10 years in prison for sexually abusing, torturing, and killing dozens of dogs. While it's crucial to stay informed, it's equally important to consider the effects of such stories on our mental well-being and community. Sharing graphic details like Britton's actions of torturing dogs and sharing videos online can be extremely distressing and traumatic for many. It's essential to balance the need for information with sensitivity to those affected. Moreover, focusing on the grotesque aspects, such as Britton's use of a torture room and the intentional killing of at least 39 dogs, can overshadow the broader issues of animal cruelty and mental health. we must remember to approach these topics with care and respect instead of sensationalizing such tragedies. Let's use our platforms to promote awareness and prevention, highlighting the importance of mental health support, the consequences of animal cruelty, and the need for community vigilance can make a positive impact. Together, we can foster a more compassionate and informed society. Thank you for listening. And remember, responsible media consumption starts with us.
It does. It starts with us. We should not be talking. Yeah.
Question. How can I put this delicately?
You probably can't.
When you bang a dog, does it have to be doggy style?
Not speechless.
I mean, every time I've done it, wait.
Ew.
They don't really spread so well for missionary.
Right. So you just got to keep it nice and compact. So I feel like
this is the type of thing that we should be avoiding.
Maybe.
And therein lies a good tip, ladies. From behind, if you put your legs together, it brings your walls closer together and is greater stimulation for the smaller, more peninsular shaped fallacies.
All right.
So
I think we've spiraled out of control completely.
It would seem.
And
another question. Another question for the crew. Since he was an alligator enthusiast, if I'm correct, right?
He was like an expert in alligators.
So did he attempt this on alligators first?
No, if you're an alligator expert, the first thing you learn is don't fuck them.
That's like on the first day.
Yeah. That's like first page of the textbook.
See, I don't read so good.
Now, I do have a question. Since Big Daddy brought up, do you have to do it doggy style? If you're not going to do it doggy style and you're having a discussion with the dog, does the dog say me style?
And better question, does the dog insist on having it rough?
They tend to ask for it that way, almost demand it.
Right.
All right. Let's bring this block to an end.
Okay.
And I'll change the subject. I'm pretty sure. Because we're going to be talking about a dog in the next.
Yeah, we do have another dog story. After the break, we find out what Big Daddy has to ask us this week. I'm going to find out what that awful smell is coming from. I think it's my crotch. We watch the debut of Bat Dog and take a screen rant to task on their list of 20 best 80s sitcoms. My balls get so itchy because I like to stuff them up into my taint when I wipe from back to front. In the C block, Big Daddy is going to join us because nobody can C block like our own BBC correspondent. And he has some more questions about missing ammunition, hospital malfeasance, and exploding toilets.
Is he having a stroke?
Well, as much as we like to cold read around here, I cold read much of the copy that Matt and he's just been having a fantastic time up.
Oh my God.
Because I told him I would read whatever he puts in front of me. And I continue to do it. And
usually it's Pete.
You're the problem, it's you.
I do it tonight. Whether the top 3 news has been brought to you by 302-46-VOICE. If you want my voice in your project, go ahead and dial 302-46-VOICE. Also, My Sports Art Shop. You can check them out on redbubble.com and mysportsreports.com. And our sister show on the network, Stepmoms Without Children, and the Disruptive Minds podcast with Bill. How are we doing over there at Stepmoms, Ricky?
So good. We have a extra special guest on this week's episode that comes out on Friday the 30th. It is one Stanley McFadden.
Ooh, I will be very excited for this one.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about? Go
It's
ahead.
a side of Big Daddy that you haven't seen before. I'll give you a hint. Oh wait,
It's his ass. No, we've all seen that, Big Daddy. You know,
this is
it's been tough to edit. You know, because
The 2x4 strapped across it.
well, all right, bring us to the end of this, Mike. Come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the A block on the Media Virus Podcast. We will be back with our B block right after. Let's do this one.
Well, when the microwave runs, I piss my pants.
Well, that went off quickly.
As soon as Big Daddy showed up.
I really know how to clear a room.
I'm not even sorry.
You shouldn't be. There's no reason to be sorry. If anything, we should be, feeling grateful to you. I have been giggling to myself all day, just laughing at the little things I've written. You know what I mean? Like, it's the God's honest truth that me and my friend Keith tried to lip sync the song "Wipeout" for a talent show. That's not bullshit. And then I was made fun of for looking like Jay Leno, because I had to do a Jay Leno impersonation because they wouldn't let us lip sync the song "Wipeout." I thought that was fucked up.
I agree.
So glad you made yourself laugh.
And then all the little shit that I've kind of worked into the
things I have to read,
to the teasers that you have to read. Yeah. It just makes me giggle.
Someone's got to giggle.
Yeah. Someone's got to laugh, and it's me. I guarantee you. I don't give a shit if I'm the only person that laughs at this show. I laugh at it.
Somebody's going to laugh.
It's funny.
It may just be you, but somebody's going to laugh. Why is my computer running so hot tonight?
I don't know. We're having a bunch of fucking issues. I guess you're having an Audacity problem right now.
I'm waiting for it to come back up. That's a different machine. My broadcast machine is actually running very, very hot. And my video is a little choppy as a result.
What?
No, it's just, every once in a while I'll hear you laugh. And I always wonder, is she laughing at what somebody said or is she just watching something else?
Yeah.
And since nobody said anything and you just started fucking laughing,
yeah,
I'm assuming you're off in your own little.
His internet.
Oh, yeah, the internet. Fantastic.
They must have changed something in camo.
Oh, yeah?
I use camo to bring my camera in. And I use my phone as an outboard camera. It comes in over Wi-Fi. And I'm starting to think that maybe they changed something in camo, and that's why it's running so hot. Because I haven't changed anything else. I want to take a quick peek over here and make sure I don't have any like crazy AI fix my face nonsense running that I'm unaware of.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily need it to fix my face. No, none of that's on. Huh. I don't know. We are recording.
Oh, that is fantastic, guys. All right, so we're back in the B block of the Media Virus Podcast, episode 199. I stressed the beginning of A block how much podcast that is. The 497 hours of podcasting that we have under our belts. We should know a thing or two about podcasting. However, we don't. So we're gonna get into. You guys, did you guys see the Bat Dog?
Yeah.
I have not seen the Bat Dog, and I'm very excited to see it.
Well, the Bat Dog, I actually came across this story. The Philadelphia Phillies have a single A affiliate team down there in Clearwater, and you might know at minor league parks they do kitschy little things to keep the crowd entertained because everybody always complains that baseball is such a slow, boring game. So like they do some kitschy little stuff. Like here our Blue Rocks, they have the celery that comes out and runs around on the warning track, and there's all kinds of things. But they trained and were introducing a bat dog. So instead of a bat boy running out to retrieve the bats after a play, they've hired a dog.
All right, and the dog, this is apparently his debut. So it's the first time that he's been in this stadium. He's doing great, but this is the first time it's full of people. So you ready, babe?
Uh-huh.
Ready to watch this?
Uh-huh.
He has his best day.
It's pretty. He's like, nope, fuck that.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
I sent this to you.
Did you?
Oh, can you put the audio up? Because the crowd noise is great. He's already stripped the bat and he's doing his thing. And he's into the dugout. And
he goes into the opposing team's dugout.
Yeah. He's running up the tunnel, going to the line.
Hey guys, you want to pet me?
Now they're trying to turn him
What's going
around.
on here? Oh shit!
Boom, they got him back.
Oh look, a bat! No, fuck that. There's a.
Come on, break.
Like, I'm gonna get me a baseball player.
One guy's afraid of the dogs. Apparently, oh, there he is.
Oh.
Clap that dog, taking a dump. That's fantastic. Does he kick? Nope. We're gonna do another. Better camera angle, guys.
Hey, I know you. Hopping around.
This just makes you smile.
Hey, look at the smile on the dog's face.
Oh, he's happy as a clam. This guy's not happy at all. Aww.
We're gonna do a little reset. We put the lead on him. We're gonna make him do his thing.
Oh, a girl camera woman.
What's all this shit?
Yep. Threw that bat. I'm out of here again.
He's like, no. The handler was like, no. Let me show you. He can fucking do it.
But the pitcher's got a ball.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
All right, go ahead and make your prediction now. Who would win in a fight? 200 kung fu practitioners with melee weapons or one Marine with a machine gun?
All right.
Hey, that dog was just having his best day. He ran. He visited with everybody he knew. He went and met some new people.
And you're wondering, I can, since that guy, I know that guy's content, and I guarantee you the Marine is the one that won. That's
okay.
Just in case anybody was wondering.
I did have some questions. I did wonder.
Yeah, I figured you would. But speaking of things that you wonder, Big Daddy, we have a Big Daddy asks.
Ooh, a Big Daddy question.
Big Daddy proudly brings you.
Big Daddy asks,
If you had to live in a world that's always daytime or always nighttime, which one do you choose? I think I would go with always nighttime. Probably because I'm black.
There you go.
I don't want to make this a black-white thing, but I personally would go with always daytime.
Same.
Yeah, I would go with always
Why?
daytime as well.
Okay, why?
Because you can block out the light, but you can't you can't grow vegetables without the sun.
Yeah.
We can
like
artificial light.
Yeah, but
there's a lot that goes into
like
that.
serotonin that like comes from the sun.
Like vitamin D.
Like I couldn't do without the
Vitamin D supplements.
I'm really I'm light affected. So
I think we're gonna start seeing, it's coming, the seasonal affect disorder. It's already in my, I'm already like kind of like, oh man, it's over. Even though I hate summer, what am I gonna do? It's over. August went by in a flash.
It did.
In a flash. Yo, I swear to God, yesterday was July 29th. I swear to God.
I have been at my job for a whole month now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's weird
fantastic.
too.
Yeah, the month just flew. But I would much rather have daylight. I think we'd all rather have daylight. You want to live like the Chronicles of Riddick. Where there is
30 days of night over here.
Yeah, 30 days. Yeah, we got a Mr. Vampire over here.
But
yes,
I lean on daytime because I've always thought that, like, if I went to Alaska to experience the either all night or all day, I definitely want to do it during the all day period. Just because that seems like more fun to me.
I gotta tell you, man, I think it would be cool to like experience like that month-long night. I think experiencing that would be fucking cool. I would, but maybe like once, and
I'd be checking out of that within a few days. It would kill me.
Yeah, you think so? I might see how long I can stick it out. I
literally want to go to Alaska to eat crab legs.
Well, I think it really depends on how much crab legs and booze you got.
Yeah.
Because booze can solve a lot of problems.
I'm not eating nobody's seal and nobody's whale.
Like when a night is 30 days long, that's one fucking long party, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking back. Dave Attell used to do a show on the Comedy Channel where after his set, he would
go out drinking.
He would go out drinking. He'd find random people that were at his show and he'd go out drinking with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched one where he was in Alaska and like he finished his show and they went outside and it was like noontime bright and they went drinking. And then as it approached like 2-3 in the morning, some guy's like, "You want to go night fishing?" And they went and they're standing there fishing. It's just like fishing in the morning because the sun was out.
Now, I mean, again, I'd want to experience that too. But I think experiencing, that though both of those, extremes that are what 2% of the population gets to experience.
If that,
you know what I mean?
If that,
I imagine the pregnancy rate would skyrocket.
Oh yeah. I can only
because if it's nighttime all the time, you like you're just taking home last call.
Like every alley is dark. What?
Exactly.
Oh.
There's no safe space.
Because some people are weird. They don't want to bang during daylight hours.
Right.
There's always a girl that's shy. She doesn't want the lights on, only because she's a closet freak and she doesn't want you to find out. Oh, I've never done this before.
All right, so we're gonna dig into this top 20 list.
Okay,
and this is
what you got.
Screen Rants. And if it comes up again in the copy where it says a screen rant or something, don't just screen rant. Okay. I had such a hard time with the grammar function.
Yeah,
But,
and
yeah.
my grammar function's hard to turn off sometimes.
Yeah. So this is the 20 best 80s sitcoms ranked.
Look at how young Kelsey Grammer is in that shot.
Wow.
Right? Look how fucking hot B. Arthur is. God damn it. But
hey, fun fact. Rue McClanahan is our age when actually younger than us when she was cast.
all right, why don't you keep your fucking fun facts to yourself?
Rue McClanahan was 45 when she was cast in that role.
Okay, but she was not a good. That is not a good 45.
Well, 45 wasn't all that great back then.
That is also true.
45 was a rough time in the 80s.
Yeah.
But it was a great time for 80s sitcoms. You know, the top 80s sitcoms were iconic hits that
They
still
were.
hold up today, bringing laughter and heart to viewers.
Many
From
of them.
workplace humor to family dynamics, these sitcoms captured the essence of the decade. Whether you're looking for laughs alone or with the family, the 80s sitcom offers a time warp back to classic comedy. All right, so let's get into the rankings. I'm not going to read that fucking article. You guys see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I also saw that you were dragging the cursor along like you were reading like your finger in a book. Do you read with your finger?
Why don't you fuck right off? When you get
so astute.
When you get to the top of fuck off mountain, you should walk your happy ass down the other fucking side of that motherfucker. Keep going. All right.
I never heard of this show.
You never heard of One Day at a Time?
No.
I used to roll my cigarettes up my sleeve like Snyder. I thought that was the coolest fucking thing
I feel
anybody.
like on Grease they did that.
Yeah, but I saw it on
That's
One Day
awesome.
at a Time.
Yeah, Snyder. And you know,
That's Valley Bertinelli.
this is how fucked up we are. We thought Snyder was cool.
Yeah, he
That
was.
mustache too.
Yes. Snyder was very, very rapey.
With that
Gave
pencil
off-
thin mustache.
Yeah, he gave off like pornography out in the open type of guy.
Like he probably had a peephole looking at those girls creepy.
Now, this chick was having an affair with her dad.
Yes.
Ooh, damn.
Kenzie Phillips,
Yeah.
daughter
And,
of John Phillips and Michelle Phillips.
and this was their TV sitcom mom.
Who's the dad?
There was no dad. She was a harlot. I mean, a single mom. The same thing.
Well, I mean,
Oh, in the 70s, I guess.
One Day at a
Hey,
Time was an 80s family. What?
If you bang your dad, do you call him dad or daddy?
Both.
you'd have
One
You'd
Day
have
at a Time was an 80s family sitcom that followed a single mother moving her daughters to a new apartment where she raised them on her own and balanced her own career to provide for them and herself. The sitcom also featured the odd superintendent of their building, Schneider, who popped in on the family frequently to offer advice. The series was rebooted in 2017 with new characters. Was it?
yeah.
Huh.
This time
Wow.
featuring a Cuban-American family, but with a similar premise and a new collection of likable One Day at a Time characters that showed the sitcom's lasting. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I think the handyman was Schneiderito in that one.
Oh, really?
No.
Now, this was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
I like.
Looking man, this man.
That's Craig T. Nelson, baby.
Craig T. motherfucking Nelson.
From Parenthood.
Yes, he's
No,
also from
no,
Coach.
Craig T. Nelson from Coach.
He's also from Poltergeist. That's acceptable too.
Yeah. He's from
That was he was the
He's
dad
from
in
Parenthood starring Dak Shepard.
He was the dad in Polter. Okay, first of all, Parenthood starred Craig T. Nelson with Dak Shepard.
Yeah.
All right. Let's not get this fucking twisted, because Craig T. Nelson won an Emmy for his performance on Coach as the character of Hayden Fox,
He
the
looks so
head coach
manly.
of a university football team. The show had a lot of fun playing on the characters as the typical machismo male whose obsession with sports goes to ridiculous lengths. However, the leverage of the comedy, Fox had to find ways to bond with his elegant girlfriend, Christine Armstrong, and his young daughter, Kelly, with whom he had little in common.
Who played Kelly?
Together with pals Luther Van Dam. No,
Well,
it's not Van.
Luther
Oh,
was Dildo.
right.
He was Dildo Delivery Van's brother.
Right, but together with Luther Van Dam and Michael Dahlberg Dubinsky, but Luther Van Dam was played by Jerry Van Dyke,
Right.
which is
and
why I got confused.
Right. His brother is the lesbian dildo truck guy, Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke. But we have this. We have
was
this.
like, what are you saying?
We have this at 19.
Well,
I feel like it should be a lot higher than 19, but let's see what's 18.
Oh,
The Cosby
Show.
The only reason this show is ranked 18th is because Bill Cosby is a rapist.
Right.
If Bill Cosby still America's dad, this would be number one, hands fucking down.
I will bet money that Golden Girls is number one.
This is one of the biggest. First of all, it's a big family. Then it's a big African American family with two successful parents.
And they're doctors.
One's a doctor, one's a lawyer.
There were just so many different people to do a storyline with. It was like
Lisa Bonet.
Y'all know what I'm saying. But I mean, the Cosby, and it remains one of the best and most influential family-friendly sitcoms ever made.
We were at the doctor's office watching this, and I was like, "What channel is this on?" I think it was Bounce, but I think Roku has a channel just for the Cosbys.
So the Cosbys is way too high.
Wait, I know this show.
Perfect Strangers was. Perfect Strangers went from 86 to 93.
Was this guy's name Balky?
Balky Bartakamus.
Balky Bartakamus.
I knew it had a good run. I didn't know it ran until 93.
I didn't know it ran until 93 either, because Perfect Strangers is a hilarious and timeless sitcom that made physical humor a major component of its delivery. Emmy nominee Bronson Pinchot portrayed the lovable Balky Bartakamus, a fish out of water foreigner from the remote island of Mypos, who's decided to make it big in America. He ends up crashing with his cousin Larry, an aspiring journalist who tries to show Balky the ropes of American life.
I remember this show. This and Alf we used to watch.
Alf!
Like they would come on one after the other. And then when they started playing on the weekends, they started playing Step by Step. This show was lumped in with it.
Yo.
Now,
Mama's Family.
Hold on. Before we go there, Perfect Strangers, the doorman, the woman who ran the elevator at the office to Perfect Strangers was the wife on Family Matters, and that spun off that show.
Okay.
What spun off the show?
The elevator, the doorman was a woman, and it was Winslow, Carl Winslow's wife. I can't remember her.
And Carl Winslow was the cop.
Right, but that's how those shows. That's how they introduced that show.
Yeah,
was because he was the doorman for Perfect Strangers.
Hang on.
Wow,
I love that.
I never knew that. That's definitely an interesting aside for this.
Oh, all right.
Huh.
What's up?
You stopped. We're waiting on you.
Oh, so all right. We did Perfect Strangers, right?
Yes, we did.
Mama's Family. First of all, again, every one of these should be higher up on the list. I feel like I want to get down lower on the list to find out, because again, one of the best goddamn dude. You know what I loved about this show is it was on in the Poconos.
I think this was the first show that featured the hot young girl. You know what I mean? Like to me at this point, all of these little shows always had regular frumpy looking motherfuckers and then one hot chick.
Sorry, is the woman on the right the hot young girl?
All right, that she was supposed to be hot. Yeah.
Right. She was.
So I vaguely.
She wasn't the young girl. She was supposed to be Vince's wife.
She's supposed to be the eye candy. When you're looking at Mama in the middle, so yeah, my left testicle's the hot one in comparison.
Compared to everyone else, she's hot. That's what you gotta do is
Yeah.
put yourself next to ugly people.
Well,
You
so
also have to
listen,
realize-
this looks familiar. I feel like the woman in the middle was giving like sketch comedy because she was like dressed a little.
Well, this is a
exaggerated.
spin-off. This is actually a spin-off of a sketch
Oh,
that was
okay, that makes
from
sense.
Burnett
the
show.
Carol Burnett show.
Oh,
That's Vicki
that makes
Lawrence.
See, if I read this, you would know that.
See, that's Vicki Lawrence's mama. In this photo, she's probably in her 30s. She started doing the mama character when she was in her 20s on the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, one of my favorite Carol Burnett skits is a Mama's Family skit where they've got Tim Conway and he starts telling them about seeing Siamese elephants at the zoo. And it because it was sketch comedy, Tim Conway is an improv genius. He would just go completely off the rails and see how far he could take it. And they ended up leaving a lot of it in because he was just brilliant. But he started doing this elephant bit, and there's actually an outtake where Vicki Lawrence stays in the mama character and rips Tim Conway a new ass for being a little asshole.
So next up, number 15 is Alf.
Alf.
It's another one of your favorites there, babe.
And
yeah.
there's some interesting stuff that's recently come out about Alf. Apparently the dad absolutely hated being on the show.
Yes, I remember reading that.
He didn't like, he felt it was demoralizing to have to work with the puppet. And the puppet, the guy who did the puppet would fuck with him constantly. He would like talk to him between takes and like he would just be ignored, but he would just continue to fuck with him.
I mean,
That was a
guys,
funny show. He was always trying to eat the cat.
I imagine there's got to be some hatred when the beanbag with a hand stuffed up his ass is more popular than you as the distinguished actor.
Right. Like he went to acting school. He probably went to college. He looks like the type of dude that worked hard to get where,
Yeah.
he finally lands a sitcom and he's playing second fiddle to a mop. Yeah.
It was an interesting concept. It was a fun show. I remember watching it myself.
It was a fun show. And I think that
It was.
if he, it went for 4. I mean, how long could it have gone? You know what I mean? 4 years is a long run for a show with a puppet in it.
Yep.
I mean, he had to go home eventually.
I really feel like this could have been higher up on the list. This could have been 17 or 18, in my opinion. Compared to the Cosby Show, compared to Perfect Strangers, compared to compared to what I've seen so far, this doesn't belong. This is too low on the list.
Right. We could use this to push some of the other ones down.
Right.
And speaking of pushing down, the Cosby Show. Oh wait.
Who's the boss?
Alyssa Milano.
It should be like number 6.
It's at number 14.
That's ridiculous.
Now, see, I would tend to agree with you. 8 years this show ran.
That was
We
Tony
watched
Danza.
Alyssa
Tony
Milano. Hey, Angela.
We watched Alyssa Milano grow up.
Grow up. You know what I
And
mean?
boy, did she grow up.
Not for nothing, but for us, it was kind of real time. Like we were watching it. We were she's actually a little bit older than us. So it was perfectly legitimate for us to have crushes on her.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And then she went on Charmed and then showed off the goods and.
Oh my God! Yeah, she had that thing that all the Disney girlies did after her. They like grow up and they're like, "No, I'm sexual."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. all those child stars want to lash out because they're too.
Good
See them
times.
finally get. Yeah, dude. This is like looking through a yearbook or something.
Yeah.
We were watching a show recently that the grandma was not the grandma.
Mona.
Mona.
Judith-
No, the lady was on a show.
The Judith Light, it plays a judge in
Yeah.
Law and Order.
Oh, maybe that's what
Every
I'm
once in a
thinking.
while, she pops up on Law and Order.
Yeah.
The sister from The Sopranos also was a judge on Law and Order.
Growing Pains
Growing Pains.
is another show that I absolutely, I mean, you know,
I love the show.
absolutely loved.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I
Alan
thought the
Phillips,
chick was hot enough to, you know.
Mhm.
Suzanne Summers
Tracy
in that?
Gold.
No, this
No,
isn't.
that's
Yeah, Tracy Gold. You're talking about Tracy Gold?
Yeah,
Gold.
Yep.
this was the first show
He
that
was my fantasy father-in-law.
told me about cocaine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember that special episode
I
where
vaguely remember this.
Wasn't that Boner?
Boner. His name was Boner. I almost called him Booger. Boner. Yeah.
Is that Boner on the TV?
Yeah.
That was his name. They called him Boner, but like
the
Boner used to mean like back in the 40s and shit. A boner was somebody who screwed up. A boner had a bonehead.
Right.
Oh, it was
Oh,
more
man.
along those.
He really pulled a boner.
Like he didn't walk around calling him hard on. It was you know, he wasn't erection. Family Ties.
I don't know this show.
Number 12. I mean, I have to. This is.
Is this Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
This is another one that ran for a long, long time. I remember sitting doing my homework, and you know how there's that part in there where Michael J. Fox and then slides across the floor in his office chair. I remember doing that.
To look at the answer, that's the one where he was on diet pills. He got diet pills from the fat girl who had a crush on him.
Was it diet pills or was it the caffeine pills so we could stay awake all night?
No, caffeine was saved by
no.
the
This was he got diet pills. He got diet pills from the overweight girl that had a crush on him.
See, this was when they actually did real diet pill stuff.
That was another very special because that was back when diet pills were just meth.
Yeah.
We still have diet pills,
but
these were really just meth.
Yeah, they were just meth. That's all it was. Was diet. It was
falling out.
Well, he wasn't on them. He wasn't on it that long.
No, he just stayed on long enough to have methamphetamine psychosis.
Now the thing is, as a child, it's weird. I had a crush on Meredith Baxter Burney.
Who did?
Yeah, she was cute.
You know,
she was even hot when she got pregnant.
Yeah, and then I did realize that my ex-wife bears a little bit of a resemblance to Meredith Baxter Burney. So now I hate Meredith Baxter Burney.
I was gonna say,
yeah, it's hard. Night Court.
That was a good show.
I love Night Court.
I don't know what's at the depths. I don't know what's at the depths of this list, but it's got to be great if Night Court is number 11.
Yeah, that was a fantastic show. I even do you remember the first season, the bailiff in the first season, the little old lady?
Yes,
she
fucking died. Selma.
Yeah, she passed away. But
she was always smoking.
Well, now we know why she died. I remember the episode where they had the monkey that would talk, and at the very end of it, he had a pencil and he broke it and he threw his arms up in the air and he held up a voodoo doll. And then Harry ended up having to translate that breaking up is hard to do.
That's Family Ties. Go back to it real quick because it just hit me. That song from Family Ties, not the theme song, but the "What did you think I would do at this moment?"
Great song.
That's where that song. That's where that song is from. That song had never existed before that show.
Oh,
but Night Court was such a good. Now,
we haven't seen Wonder Years yet.
Night Court was a spin-off almost of Cheers, not quite, because Harry Anderson used to do a Harry the Hat bit. He used to go into Cheers and like scam people with magic tricks.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so he kind of brought that character to Night Court to, and he's almost the same.
Well, that was his shtick. He was a stand-up and a performer, and he did, magic was one of his shticks. He was.
I didn't realize that was a reprisal, technically.
Yeah, and he was actually pretty gifted as a performer.
Interesting.
Like he would always, like, if you look back into stuff before Night Court, he always showed up as kind of a street rat magician who was trying to, run a 3-card Monte scam on somebody or get a pocket or, that sort of thing. All that sleight of hand stuff. And then
hang on a second. Hang on for 1 second, because
we'll just think about Marky Post while you do that.
Yeah, think about Marky Post, because so Pete is joined us. He looks like he's gotten his ass kicked. Yeah, right there, buddy. You can nod if you want to. You didn't unmute yourself.
Hey guys.
Hey Pete.
Hey man.
Hey.
So
wheel?
we're
You're talking about 80s TV shows?
Yeah.
is everybody breaking up or just Pete? Big Daddy seems to be having a problem too. All right. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take Pete back to, because Pete seems to be having an issue. So let's get through this.
Okay.
Am I having an issue?
Right.
I didn't know.
I don't think you were, it seemed. But let's get back to the
Number 10.
because we are at the halfway point. Three's Company.
All right. Three's Company.
That was a good one.
And I'm going to say that's probably middle of the roads, right where it belongs. Come and knock on our door.
Knock on our door.
Oddly enough,
we sing the song to each other all the time.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you would sing it with me just now, but no, you
sing it on this
you
show.
decided not to back me up, and I really appreciate
You
that.
don't pay me enough to sing on the show.
All right. So
oddly enough, 2 of the male leads here died of the aneurysm of the aorta. John Ritter.
Ooh, gee.
And Alan Thicke from Growing Pains.
Oh,
That's
wow.
My father-in-law.
They both
incredibly rare.
They both died of it. It's called the Widowmaker. Only about a 10% survival rate on that. I just want to be the guy here to tell you that my dad's better than both of those guys because he's still with us.
That's extreme. Not only is it rare, I mean, you're looking at a 10% survival rate if you're in a hospital.
Yeah. Not only that, the people around you have to understand what's going on. They have to understand that you don't need CPR because CPR makes it worse. Right.
Like the odds, you just don't. I don't know anyone that survived it. I'll tell you that right now. Your story is the first person that I've heard of.
Nico.
I'll pick you up someday. You go meet my dad.
That's
then you can go meet him.
That's awesome. That's
we
cool.
recently lost Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
And coming in number 9 is Newhart.
Yeah.
Now this was different from the Bob Newhart show, because there was the Bob Newhart show.
There was.
Where he played a psychiatrist. This is Newhart, where he was an innkeeper in New England.
Retired
in
I've
Vermont.
never heard of this.
He
You've
retired.
never seen this?
Yeah, and the fact that this is number 9 and the Cosby Show was number 19.
Now, hang on a second.
Blasphemous.
And it's all right. First of all,
Hi.
you might not know. Yeah, Larry's not in the picture, but his brother
Larry.
Daryl. No, that is Larry.
That's Larry.
His brother Daryl's in the picture, but his other brother Daryl is behind the handyman. He was a famous comedian. He was somebody.
Who?
The handyman guy.
Tom Poston.
The handyman guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Poston. He was an
And
actor.
this guy,
Peter Scolari.
that guy is like the quintessential like douchebag guy.
That's Peter Scolari. He was actually the other guy in Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks.
I know.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, at number 8.
George and Wheezy.
Moving on up.
Now the Jeffersons. You know how you enjoy watching how my mother watches old All in the Family, and
I don't enjoy that. That's torturous for me.
You know how you enjoy watching her laugh at the most inappropriate times?
It
At
makes me
All in
want
the
to leave.
Family. At All in the Family.
You guys, it's literally so embarrassing how funny she thinks Archie is.
Well, he's supposed to be
Like the
funny. He was played funny. Carol
Yeah,
O'Connor played him funny.
it's a different time. And he's actually a racist asshole. Actually.
That's the
That's what it
point
is.
of the show.
That was
He's a
the
racist
entire point.
asshole.
Yep.
But the
you
Jeffersons
seen the one-
was a
Have
was
you
a
seen the one
spinoff.
where he meets Sammy Davis?
No,
Sammy
I
Davis
haven't.
Jr. kisses Carol O'Connor.
Oh wow.
Archie Bunker. It's a fantastic clip.
But yeah, but George Jefferson is as racist against white people as Archie is racist against black people.
And they made them next
this
to
is-
neighbors.
Yeah, they made them neighbors until Jeffersons got an apartment in a high rise.
On the
And then
east
the
side.
On
song-
the east side.
Beans don't burn in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill. Took a
Hold on, that's
whole
not-
lot of moving
not the
up
word.
just to get up that hill. Now we
Now
up
we
in the big leagues, taking our turn at bat.
Okay,
Long
so
with
listen,
this.
guys, this is actually
You and
a
me, baby.
rap song
There ain't
by
nothing wrong with
Nelly and the
that.
Saint Lunatics, and
No.
so I don't know what you guys are
No,
doing.
he borrowed that from this. I had in many bands that I've been in, we used to play the Jeffersons polka, where we played the polka, we played polka and sang the Jeffersons theme song. So
That's
Fantastic.
white folks.
the whitest thing you've ever seen.
I so wish we knew each other then.
Yeah. So it was a fantastic show. I think it's ranked well at 8. What was the show that Sherman Helmsley had? It was Amen
Amen. Yep.
in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good show too. That would come on after 227.
Yes.
And real quick, I did see that a meme that said that Sherman's first, like this show,
The
was
Jefferson.
like over 40 years old.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like it was like supposed to be like an inspiring thing. Like, listen, you could not be in anything and then turn 40 and then be on the
And boom, you're fucking George Jefferson.
Yeah.
Full House coming in at number 7. How you feeling? Is Full House in 8? Oh, it started in 87. So I guess it is an 80s
It is.
sitcom. And now
Uncle
you
Jeff.
had to watch it in reruns, right?
Stamos is Uncle
Or did
Jeff.
you-
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's
yeah.
it's still in
87.
reruns.
Yeah.
That show is still being played
Timeless.
today.
And
My brother plays this show for the babies.
Dude, first of all, John Stamos,
Oh,
hot as fuck.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
absolutely.
And then
He's
Um,
only about as tall as I am.
He's what
Really?
white people say tall, dark, and handsome.
Yes.
he's short, dark, and handsome.
Yeah.
He's only about my height.
I
He-
did not know that.
Yeah. When they shot him on that show, he was often wearing lift shoes and often on an apple crate if he was around the other guys.
Oh, it's that Tom Cruise treatment. Got it.
Because Dave
Mhm.
Coulier and Bob Saget were both tall,
Yeah.
They were like
and
her.
Saget was like kind of
Saga
really,
was really tall.
Now, number 6 is Roseanne. I think it's everybody's. I know everybody watched this show. I know that it was the one show where it was like you were
watching your own family on the television.
Yeah, it's almost like you were looking into a mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you were looking into an alternate universe where your family was.
But the point was, she wanted to break the rules. She didn't want to be the perfect sitcom family. She wanted to leave the warts on and show it, and it worked. I mean, it really resonated with everybody. You know, it was okay.
This sitcom tackled serious issues such as abusive households and clinical depression, because everybody was abusive to each other and everybody was clinically depressed.
And now this show was weird to me because first off, there weren't a lot of black families in sitcoms. Right. And so one of the few black families that they had in sitcoms at this time that ran about the same time as this did was The Cosby Show. And so The Cosby Show had these financially successful, well-adjusted families. Yes, they had their issues, but there was it was just presented in a higher cultured way.
Yes.
And so at least to the way that a lot of black people around me felt was that Roseanne showed this, it gave this trailer trash vision of white people against the Cosby showing this upper class falutin black folk. And it was this weird, it kind of put you in kind of a fucked up headspace.
Yeah, you're like, because real white people don't act like that.
Right.
But we do.
So yeah, it was very odd to see that.
Exactly how white people are. Still, I feel, not much has changed.
I mean, there's also the same white people. What was the show that Jason Bateman was on? Like, there's that version of white people. There's Charles in Charge white people.
Yeah.
Let's see what's coming up. We're in the top 5, guys. Taxi. Oh my God, Christopher Lloyd's a fucking genius. Matty Rockdeff, I would say, is 10% Christopher Lloyd. In Taxi. Kind of like 10% Danny DeVito and maybe 10% of excuse me.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head either.
I can't think of his name. Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. I gotta tell you, I fucking hated Andy Kaufman with a passion.
Wow.
Oh no!
And
I loved Andy.
I was so happy when he got into that feud with Jerry Lawler.
That was all a setup.
It was, but I was very happy to see it because at that time, wrestling was still real to me.
Do you? What's his name again? Fuck. Andy
Kaufman.
Andy, you know Andy Kaufman?
No. Which guy is he in the picture?
He's this guy, and he was Latka. He was an immigrant who didn't know how to speak English very well, but he was a comedian, and he was kind of a surrealist.
Mm-hmm.
His version of funny was only funny to him.
Oh, like you?
Yeah, that's why I say I'm like 10% Andy Kaufman.
Even worse, because didn't he have a heart attack on stage and everybody just watched him die?
Right, because everyone thought he was doing a bit.
No, he died of cancer. He died of cancer.
Did he?
I think he had a heart attack on stage. I don't think he died from it, but I think he had a heart attack.
I don't think he died from it, but yeah. But
everyone laughed because they thought it was a bit.
He used to play a completely separate. He used to dress up like a completely separate guy who was a friend of Andy Kaufman. He would show up for interviews dressed as this other guy and be a complete asshole. I forget the guy's name.
Oh, so he's like Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell learned everything he knows from Andy Kaufman.
Yeah,
and Andy Kaufman was the true surrealist.
My introduction to Andy Kaufman was when he did the 7-minute "Here I Come to Save the Day" bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
and I
synced the Mighty Mouse theme song. So,
but he only did
you can
that
see where
one part. And then he wrestled women. He was the WWF intergender champion, and he'd only wrestle women.
Yep.
He only wrestled women, but he kept talking shit to Jerry Lawler.
Yep.
And Jerry Lawler was a big wrestler. He was an announcer when you knew him.
Yeah.
But he used to be
He was a big bruiser, violent.
360. Yeah, he was 360 pounds. So he would go. So Eddie Kaufman would talk a bunch of shit. He'd go find 360-pound women and beat the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much genius with Taxi because Danny DeVito was never supposed to be out of that cage.
Wow.
In fact, I think
this show was so.
He was originally written as a disembodied voice. Like the character was supposed to be a throwaway, but they couldn't get rid of him because he played into it. He leaned into it so hard. And
Are you guys ready for number 4?
But Mary Lou
I think.
Mary Lou Henner.
Yeah. Well, Family Matters.
Family Matters. Yep, there it is.
Oh my God, yes.
Family Matters. Everybody's number 4. I think it sounds like. I think it sounds like both Dre and Erica agree that number 4 is a good slot for Family Matters.
I feel like it wasn't going to be.
Yeah, I think if Bill Cosby didn't do a Bill Cosby, then that would have been ranked here.
Yeah.
Because like this show, this was a well-adjusted, loving family.
Yep.
Right. I think that so like in my head I'm thinking there has to have been other shows, like Cheers hasn't been on yet. Like there are
Cheers was Cheers was number 20.
There are
wasn't
other
it?
shows that are probably better than this one, but I do feel like this one ran for a long time. It was very popular. There's a lot of like Urkel and wearing your pants high and saying "God need cheese." And did I do that? Like
I want to call an asterisk on this because. Hang on a second, Mike. Because I think there should be an asterisk on this. I would not refer to Family Matters as an 80s sitcom. It started in 89, but that's, for it to be an 80s sitcom, I feel like it should it does do its job by reflecting the time in which it sat. It did reflect 1989 in 1989. It did reflect 1990 in 1990.
But you also have to remember Family Matters started with Perfect Strangers.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's part of why this is still
rooted in
it's rooted much earlier in the 80s. And fun fact, Jaleel White, Urkel, recently donned the Urkel gear a few weeks ago because he teamed up with Snoop Dogg to introduce a new line of cannabis.
Wow.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
I want some Urkel weed.
It's called show. I think it's called Urkel's Purple.
Oh my God. We watched a show like kind of recently that was Jaleel White and like his cousin or something. And they go through like a haunted house.
Stefan Urkel.
No.
No, it was like a reality show.
No, this was a reality show where you go through a haunted house and they score you. I forget what it was called, but it was last Halloween. We were looking for something to watch.
Basically, like they get like these like D and E-list celebrities, and they like go through these like haunted things, and the whole point is to not scream, and so like you have to like not react. But
a number of times to revive some sort of a career after Urkel, and with limited success. I mean, he's talented. It's just that he has a hard time getting traction as himself.
Yeah.
Listen,
with those eyeballs, people will only see Stefan and Urkel.
Yeah.
Now,
number 3, Married with Children. 1987 to 1997, a full 10 years.
Oh, good for him.
3 people that were that could have really suffered the same fate of being character actors that
we have a call, Mike.
We have a call coming in. Bear with me just a minute.
I'm guessing it's Pete.
Media Virus Podcast, you are on the air. Hello? Hello?
I think Pete bailed on us.
Hello?
I just
Media
saw him
Virus
disappear.
Podcast. You are on the air.
All right, well, let's keep. Fuck them. Let's keep moving.
I
don't
think-
want to stay here all day.
I think when you look at TV dads, Al Bundy was the best one we had. Right? He's definitely the one that didn't get in trouble.
I mean, we just recently watched an episode, I think, and it was just so mean. Like he's so like forgot, like he's a forgetter. He wants no responsibility. Like obviously I don't like that, but I do remember as a kid like thinking the show was like a funny show to watch, and like I like there was something about Hit the Road Jack I vaguely remember. I remember thinking that Kelly was really pretty. But I personally 2024 love this show because that's what my logo is based on for my podcast.
And 3 of the 4 people in that picture
Still have careers.
Still have careers.
And honestly, I was starting to say, they could have fallen the way of Urkel, but they didn't. They all managed to reinvent themselves. I mean, Ed O'Neill's a friggin' genius.
Mm-hmm. And a highly skilled Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Ed O'Neill is not for nothing. It's the same character in Modern Family. It's just
moderner.
Yeah, he just grew up a whole lot. You know what I mean? It seems to me
That's
he's a little
fair.
bit more successful.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but it's the same personality.
Yeah.
And it's that type of personality. It's where, Al Bundy didn't learn anything.
Right.
Where in the other, he's learned a lot, and he's learning.
And his
as
wife
he goes.
is even hotter than Katie Seagal.
Even hotter, which is hard to do because Katie Seagal is a fucking stone cold fox.
That's Katie Seagal was a nice piece even then.
To this day,
Do you guys
Katie's-
remember her in Smart House, or is that too young?
And there's Golden Girls.
Oh, there
Number
they
2,
are.
the Golden Girls. No,
That
man,
means Cheers is number 1.
you could spank for a half an hour from 1985 to 1992.
What on earth? To these biddies?
B.
You know how
R.
hot they are? God damn.
Room
Look at that.
I can't accept Cheers as number 1.
I mean, I don't think it's number 1, but like.
But what's left?
People do love that shit. I have a.
Hold on.
All right.
Before we
So
scroll
what
to
do we
number
think-
1,
What do we think?
I would have put Cosby Show as number 1, but now I can't. I don't think there's anything. Did we already do?
Because
Growing Pains already went. Oh no! Facts of Life.
You can't.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both.
Take
in
them
there,
both
you
in
have-
there.
No.
It's, Facts of Life or Different Strokes.
Different Strokes with
I was
maybe
gonna say that the rich guy with the 2 kids.
Different Strokes could. That's definitely a contender.
Different. I feel like Different Strokes is an 80s sitcom
This is
Definitely an
80s.
or a
80s.
70s sitcom.
Oh.
A 70s sitcom. I think it's a 70s sitcom. All right,
Hold on. What else is there? Laverne and Shirley.
70s.
Oh.
Yeah, that was definitely 70s.
Yeah, started in the 70s.
I don't know, I'm
With
just trying
Happy
to think
Days.
of all the shows I've ever watched on Nick at Night.
All right.
Leave it to
Matt.
Beaver.
Nah, Beaver
Pete, you
was-
got a guess? Still having audio issues? You're talking. I can't hear you, Pete.
no audio from the Peter.
Not muted.
Peter, Pumpkin
Peter,
Eater.
Peter, Pumpkin Eater. How to life you love to beat it. What?
Millimeter Peter.
I heard something click. Nope. Don't. Nope. All right. Here we go.
Number one.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Cheers from 1982 to 1983. 1990.
Fuck this.
1993.
Fuck this whole list.
I'll flip a table
Dude,
right now.
Kelsey Grammer,
Yeah.
John Ratzenberger, fucking Ted Danson,
George Wendt,
George Wendt,
Harrelson.
fucking Woody Harrelson. This
Okay,
guy,
I will take Kirstie Alley, but after she thickened up a bit, I would take Kirstie Alley.
Kelly Long, Nicholas Calisantro, Rhea Perlman, George Wendt, John Ratzenberger, Kelsey Grammer, Kirstie Alley.
Career still.
I don't know about Baby Newworth. Who the fuck is BB Newworth? Is that
Baby
is that
Newirth. She
Lilith?
played Frasier's wife.
Yes.
Yeah, Lilith.
She is hot. God damn it.
She's on Chicago Fire. I mean Chicago PD.
Are you guys hearing me now?
Gotcha now.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this headset that I tried.
And a lot of people don't realize this. Danson was wearing a hairpiece as Sam Malone.
Oh, really?
He's always wearing a hair. Yeah, he's bald as fuck.
Because he had hair loss issues even then.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
He's still wearing a hairpiece, just white now.
No wonder. His hair looked absolutely perfect all those years. How about
It was
that?
a piece.
So, I mean, that is Screen Rant's top 20. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, the top 5 is solid, but
With the exception of Cosby.
Yeah, I feel like that got downvoted because of
yeah, no,
Cosby.
Cosby's only as high as it is because,
Right.
and I don't know if you would swap Family Matters and Cosby because 16 is still really like, but yeah, if Cosby were down in the top 5, Cosby, you know, maybe Family Matters would have been in number 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Family Matters, I feel like it was somewhere in the top 10.
Yeah.
Just because I just feel like pop culture wise, like people are still, or at least millennials, are still quoting the show.
Yeah. And to be honest, I was watching other things in the 80s as well. I mean, it's Gary Shandling's show was a good contender on Fox.
Oh. This is the theme to Gary Show, the opening theme to Gary Show. Gary called me up and asked if I would write his theme song.
That was a brilliant theme song.
I'm going to bed.
Gary Shandling's just
It was
Gary. He was that absurdist existential comic. They broke the fourth wall all the time. It was great.
Yeah, do see.
Whenever they went anywhere in a
right,
car,
well, you know,
card.
I think that's all we got for this block, Mike. I think we're
yeah, I think that's all we planned. But never fear, there's always a C block when you're dealing with the Media Virus podcast. And in the C block, Big Daddy is going to join us because nobody can C block like our own BBC correspondent. And he has some questions about missing ammunition, hospital malfeasance, and exploding toilets. We'll do that and more in the C block coming up right after my jingle palette responds, and we do this.
I'm not saying that I asked for 2 serial killer documentaries, just that it was all.
All right. See.
Big Daddy C blocks power, got the streets devoured. Gold chains glisten in the hour, flow like the sizzling shower. Spit fire like a dragon, crews left staggering. Imagining the habit, check it, Big Daddy moving, calculating the scheme. Rough neck, no bleeding, hardcore eyes gleam. C block dominion, pure raw strength in the kitchen.
Not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
Not gonna lie. I'm a little jealous of Big Daddy's theme song.
I like my theme song better than yours.
As you should, sir. That's killer.
I'm feeling that one. I wish I had come up with it first.
Are we on or are we off right now?
Well, we're not taping on Audacity. We are live streaming.
Okay, just wanted to check. How do I sound?
Yeah,
I figured out the mic. The mic wasn't plugged in all the way on this headset. It's another gaming headset, but it's got a removable mic. Same company that made the other one, but this is both ears.
So you sound like a
so maybe there
like
isn't
a
any
NASCAR
bleed.
reporter.
Maybe there isn't any bleed from the earphone on the other, or like the other one was, because it had like an open.
Well, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
this is.
All right.
Are you in your new car?
I am not in my new car because that is not tagged and legal to be driven on the street yet. there's no tag on the car.
Okay.
I drove it home dirty. I was riding dirty.
He was riding dirty.
I was riding dirty. I had my roommate follow me home. From she took me to pick it up to get it, and then she
As
wanted to
someone
have
who I've been pulled over numerous times riding dirty. Tell them a good sob story. You'll get at least 1, 2, 3 warnings.
Yeah, I just bought the car.
Here's the title.
I rode around in a Ford Aerostar.
Yeah.
And I love this fucking Aerostar. It was an electronic, it was an all-wheel drive Aerostar. Thing was great in the snow. It was a battle wagon. I loved this van. But the exhaust, the muffler fell off while I was fucking around in the snow. And I did that before I went through inspection. You know? So, but it had like a serial number on the side of the van.
Like a DOT number?
Whatever the stock number of the van in the dealership.
Oh, it was the stock number.
Was written vertically on the side of my van.
Okay.
And I drove around for 4 years.
Wow.
Truck inspected. Because they'd see I have no inspection sticker, but they'd also see like the letters on the side. I got pulled over after 4 years.
No, I was asking for all kinds of trouble. I mean, it's what, the 28th now today. So we're coming up on the end of the month, quota and all those wonderful things.
Yeah.
I was nervous as hell, driving it home, because I was like, I just need to get it home.
I also I lived in Philadelphia at the time. It was a lot easier to get away with shit like that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? In Philly, it's a lot easier to get away with shit like not getting your car inspected.
All right.
Am I too hot on this thing, or
no, you're good.
Okay.
You're hot enough.
I've got the mic over to the side, not like directly in front of my nose.
Great.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Okay. Good.
Give me just a second. I'm going to come into the C block. Here we go.
Daddy C blocks power. The streets devour. Gold chains glisten. In the hour, flow like the sizzling shower. Spit fire like a dragon. Tools left staggering. The habit, check it, Big Daddy moving. Calculate the scheme. Rough neck, no bleeding. Hardcore eyes gleam. C block dominion. Trouble strength in the kitchen.
I think that needs to be spiced up with some C block, with some fucking Big Daddy quotes.
Might be
yeah, some actual drops of stuff he said.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because
I like it.
You playing it again, like or you? Is it? Oh yeah, he ran an underlayment. He's got the beat. You can just.
I took the instrumental verse and made a bed.
Oh,
good thinking.
In case that's Big Daddy's rant music now. If he gets angry, wants to rant, we can load that up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So
okay, before we
that
get
is what you get when you ask for some. Go ahead.
Before we get too far in here, I didn't get to weigh in on the 80s shows. So I just have one very important question that nobody asked.
Okay.
Joyce or Suzanne?
Suzanne.
Mike?
Suzanne.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Joyce or Suzanne?
From what?
Joyce DeWitt or Suzanne Summers?
Joyce DeWitt or Suzanne Summers from Three's Company. Which one would you know?
Janet or
I
Chris?
never thought about it. I don't really care.
Oh, never really thought about it. Okay.
Oh, the blonde or Pat Benatar? I mean, both of them are pretty good.
Not nearly big enough.
Yeah, Joyce DeWitt was a fucking toothpick. I can't deal with that. Suzanne, and then Chrissy was another one. The nurse.
Yeah, when Suzanne Summers thought she was going to get a bigger paycheck, and she stood up and says, "Oh well, then I'll quit," and they recast it.
Yeah,
Yep.
they pulled a Becky from Roseanne before Becky from Roseanne did her thing.
No, because that was a different character.
No, it's definitely a different.
That was like.
Are you sure?
Yep, it was a different character. They
recast it was her cousin or some shit.
Yeah, Suzanne
okay.
Summers. If you don't pay me more, I'm going to quit. And they were like, "Okay, we'll find somebody else to hang out."
I could have swore that was that was like a
no. It wasn't. It wasn't. Well, it wasn't. It was her cousin. She was supposed to be a cousin of Christy or some shit. Okay.
Okay.
But Roseanne just pulled a straight up different actress, same character.
Like I said, I must not have seen the episode where they did that, or don't remember it.
They mention it a couple times in the early.
Okay.
The thing on Roseanne was actually because Lisi Goranson got accepted to a really good school, and Roseanne was like, "No, go ahead, we'll take care of it."
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why they did the it was kind of tongue in cheek. They made a joke of it, and when she was freed up, they allowed her to come back.
Yep. Yeah.
Interesting.
That was it was all amicable.
In one of the later episodes, they have DJ. I know in one of the later episodes they have DJ having a complete mental breakdown.
Yeah.
They say she's the same, but she's not the same. They say she's the same, but she's not the same.
Yeah.
Dude, that show was so.
I did see that.
It was so like. It was lowbrow and white trash, but it was really cerebral at the same time. Like you had to think a little bit about these jokes
going on. No,
yeah, Roseanne without Roseanne is weird.
Yeah.
You know, but
nobody would watch it. Nobody has. So
I watched it. It was also during my recovery, so I was grasping.
You had all right. Well,
your options were limited.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So digging into the first story here that Big Daddy sent over. Let me share my screen for you guys.
Excuse me. Believe you titled that one "Dead Bitch."
Well, on the show sheet, yeah. I mean, just so you knew, just so I knew what story we're talking about.
Right.
But family of Jesse Peterson, 31, spent a year searching for her before learning the hospital had shipped the body to a storage facility. Jesse Peterson's family spent. I already read that. Come on. Before they learned that she had been dead all along. The 31-year-old died in the care of Mercy San Juan Medical Center in Sacramento in April of 2023. The hospital shipped her body to a storage facility and did not inform her mother and sisters. The family only learned of her fate the following April after months of trying to find her, according to a civil lawsuit against the hospital. In the lawsuit filed earlier this month, the family described the hospital conduct as malicious and outrageous and accused the facility of negligence, the negligent handling of a corpse, and the negligent infliction of emotional distress. Straight up, if that goes to a jury, there's not a jury that's not going to fucking give her anything she wants.
I mean, we're in a unique position here. Big Daddy, as we all know, is our resident medical professional. I just want to know, as a medical professional, in your opinion, how long can you hide a body or the death of someone and subsequently hide the body from the family before it's a legal issue?
Apparently about a year.
I mean, in your experience, if you killed a patient, how long do you think you're going to get away with it?
So here's the thing. You have to choose your patients.
When did you kill your first patient? And then we'll just do the math from there.
Yeah, he just completely completely tried to dodge that part of the question.
So, you choose your patients wisely, right? You don't just go for someone who has a family. You got to go for someone that's homeless and doesn't have, relatives they're going to call in. If you find that person, then you can go, a couple of years without arising much suspicion.
So I think what you're saying is a somewhat attractive white girl is probably not the best choice.
A semi-attractive white girl is a horrible choice. You want to pick a young black man. That will go right through.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Or someone of Aboriginal American descent. They don't. Nobody gives a fuck about them either. So
exactly.
That could work. I don't know. He just got up and left.
But Mercy San Juan Hospital failed in its most fundamental duty to notify Jesse's family of her death. The lawsuit states Mercy San Juan stored Jessie in an off-site warehouse morgue, and she was left to decompose for nearly a year while her family relentlessly inquired about her whereabouts. Peterson, whom her family described in the lawsuit as loving and energetic, had type 1 diabetes. She was experiencing a diabetic episode when she was admitted to Mercy San Juan on the 6th of April, 2023. Her mother, Ginger Kanji, that's a terrible last name. Hey, Kanji! I got me a piece of kanji the other night, tell you that right now. Stated that Peterson had called her 2 days later asking for a ride because she would be leaving the hospital, according to the lawsuit. Kanji Minge later was told that Peterson had left the hospital against medical advice, and her medical records indicated she was discharged on 8 April after her sudden disappearance. European people put the number before the month, and I hate it. After her sudden disappearance, the family spent months relentlessly searching for her, posting flyers, speaking with unhoused residents. Dude, they had to talk to homeless people. Jesus. And contacting police. That's even worse. And the coroner's office. According to the lawsuit, on the 12th of April, 2024, more than a year after Peterson was last seen, the Sacramento County Detective's Office informed the family that she had been found dead at Mercy San Juan. The suit states, according to her death certificate, which was completed in April 2024, Peterson died of cardiopulmonary arrest, age 31. That's quite young.
Wow. I mean, this
is long.
So chances are someone fucked something up royally at the hospital.
Yeah.
And because it later on in the story, it tells you that they couldn't identify. They couldn't do an autopsy on the body because it had been decomposed so bad. Now, if you can't do an autopsy, then you can't tell if there was medical malpractice.
Wouldn't an off-site morgue facility be refrigerated?
It should be.
But it really, I feel like if it was that badly decomposed, it was not refrigerated.
Yeah, but you still get decomp.
But it was probably never embalmed or anything.
Refrigeration, you still get decomp, and if you go with freezing, you get freezer burn.
Right.
The little ice crystals grow and it starts to taste funny.
All right.
Are you holding back laughter, Matt?
I was. I was holding it back.
Yeah, we're just casually talking about like something bordering necrophilia.
Well, that's how the show goes sometimes, yeah.
I mean, we've gone full necrophilia before.
I mean,
I'm sure.
We don't have to read
really. It's mind-boggling that this can happen.
You know what else is mind-boggling?
Do you know how many people it takes to perpetrate a conspiracy like that?
That's why it makes me think there was something real bad that happened and a cover up. There's no other reason to do all of this.
So a judge in Delaware shot down Cabela's bid to stymie a probe into thousands of rounds of ammo shoplifted from the Christiana Mall store. And I paid for my shit like a sucker. You know what I mean? That really pisses me off.
See,
I'd have known it was that easy to steal.
That's where you went wrong. You got to go on a Sunday night between the hours of 6:15 and 6:30 when there's no one behind the counter. You can walk right the fuck out. You can sell them behind the Cabela's for $2.99 and a pack of smokes.
Wow.
It's oddly specific.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, well,
that's a lot of bullets.
I guess they interviewed a thief and she stole 500,000 bullets because security was lax for 18 months.
That's a
the
lot.
The retailer has fought a state subpoena seeking loss prevention records.
I want to know why they interviewed this bitch and didn't just arrest her right there.
I don't know.
Apparently,
maybe the interview was like in incarceration. You don't know.
Okay.
But the Attorney General for 18 months has been trying to, he's been in a ridiculous legal tussle with Cabela's outdoor gear company. The issue being Cabela refuses to comply with the state subpoena for internal records about how Cabela stores were stored, protected, and accounted for ammunition at its mammoth store. It's a big store at Christiana Mall. I go there a lot just to look at all the stuffed animals. I love that place.
It's like
and the crazy thing is to remember that the Christiana Mall has had multiple shootings recently.
Yeah. But that store is like 110,000 square. Just to give you an idea, your average CVS or Walgreens drugstore is about 10,000 square of retail space. 100 that's like 11 CVS's.
It's huge. Cabela's is huge.
That's like 11 really good sized stores that you're used to shopping in.
And I can tell you, all that shit was right on the shelf, and there's no one watching. Everyone is at the counters where the knives and the watches are.
Well, I mean, you can't have
Professor
on what time it is.
Professor, did you reach out to
I did
to
not,
our mutual friend?
I did not reach out to someone that we know that had in fact worked at this Cabela's location in the past. I did not.
Okay. I feel like he would have a lot of information to offer on this.
We may do that as a follow-up. I may reach out and see if he would join us maybe next week or so. But this is, I mean, that's a lot of fucking, that's 500,000 bullets.
Dude, until last year, the ammunition was kept on the floor.
Until last year.
It was kept just right out in the open on the floor. They're here. You need to steal some shit? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm sure they had to get like a shopping cart, and I guess nobody thought it was really strange when somebody just wheeled an entire shopping cart, like stacked full of bullets, like out the front door, like, no, just, doing my stocking up for the winter,
Inventory, just doing that inventory.
Yeah. No, nothing to see here.
Consider what one shoplifter told police in 2022 after state troopers conducting a stakeout at Cabela's caught her after she walked out with about 2,000 rounds.
Damn.
It's a lot of. You can do a lot of damage with that. And she was the one that told detectives because she got pinched. So she got pinched, and then she's like, "Dude, I've stolen like 50,000 rounds out that motherfucker."
2,000. That's nothing, bitches.
Right? These are the drop in the bucket. You should see the bullets I got. She sold it for about 1/3 its value, netting more than $100,000 to Delaware pawn shops and drug dealers in Philadelphia and Dover. Oh, thanks, babe. That's the best.
And that's why we had shootings at the mall.
I hope they find a way to charge this bitch with every fucking murder that happens with ammo she stole. God, I hope that happens. That would be the most.
Well, she was a dealer. She was a dealer. She was an arms dealer.
Wait, you said
it's hard. Go
ahead. You said they sold it to pawn shops and other gun shops?
Yeah.
So you remember?
No, I said drug dealers.
Oh, I thought you said. I was thinking about a couple months ago when that the other gun center over on 13 got robbed.
Yeah.
You think maybe it's a conspiracy? They were trying to steal back, like,
steal our shit.
It was Cabela's knocking over another store to get their shit back.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm wearing.
You gotta have some balls to knock over a gun store.
Big brass.
Yeah.
Or
big
bullets.
Yeah.
But the incident at Miller's, that they weren't there at the time. It was a burglary. It wasn't.
No. That was actually a gang initiation, apparently.
I mean, 500,000 bullets will make you feel like you got big brass balls.
The gang that was a gang initiation. It was a gang member who that's what they told him he had to do to get in.
That's a lot of lead, man.
Yeah.
It is. You know what though? I want to start a fucking gang with this guy.
Who's this guy?
He set explosive traps under toilet seats in public restrooms.
Oh, he really
in San Antonio, a man was arrested after he was accused of planting multiple explosives under toilet seats in public restrooms, resulting in several injured people. On July 20th, authorities responded to a report of an explosion in the bathroom of the wash tub, a San Antonio car wash. The arrest affidavit said a security camera caught a suspect entering the unisex bathroom. When the person entered and used the restroom, a small explosion occurred. Can you imagine going in to take a shit at like a car wash? You're already like in an uncomfortable situation. You know that bathroom is horrendous.
Yeah, somebody shit on the floor already.
Right. Like the explosion is probably going to be the cleanest that bathroom's ever been.
Yeah, and then the stall next to you just like goes up in like a blaze of glory.
Do you think he wrote a note on the toilet paper, and then when he turned the toilet paper, it said like "You're next" or something?
Like Lethal Weapons. Are we talking about like a big handful of those little? Remember those little poppers or whatever that you got as a kid, and you snap them between your fingers?
It doesn't say.
No.
I feel like this is some hardcore shit.
Like are we talking like M80 level? Or quarter stick.
Even worse, can you imagine taking a shit and then it blows up in your face?
Can you imagine that thing going off like mid turd coming out?
Well, like,
and it just shoves it back in you.
Whoa!
I mean,
whoa!
If I'm putting an explosive under a toilet seat, I'm rigging the detonator to the toilet paper roll. So you've got to unfurl some paper before you get your explosion.
Oh man, you might get blowed up mid-wipe.
Dude, this guy had a membership card to the car wash.
Or you're in there and you're not quite done. The stall next to you is, hey, can you spare a square? And you're like, oh yeah, hang on. Boom.
He's like, I'm tired of these goddamn people borrowing toilet paper from me.
Oh, can you imagine
This is
being
the last time.
ask for a square and you hear a horrible explosion?
I feel like
never mind.
Was it rigged to the flush handle? Because you can, I mean that. I feel like that would be a viable.
It was probably a compression,
device.
like as soon as they sat down. It was probably just.
You imagine showing up at the pearly gates, and St. Peter asks you, like, "Hey, so what the fuck happened to you? Your ass, like half your ass is missing,
pants around your ankles, dude. I don't know. I don't know either."
Dude, imagine like turning to your friends, going, "I'm gonna go blow up that bathroom," and then you walk in there, and it actually explodes.
They're like, "God damn! I guess he wasn't kidding."
Would never live it down. Like, honestly, if we were on a road trip and Pete went in and blew his ass off because somebody rigged the toilet, we would beat on him mercilessly.
Oh yeah, dude, it's funny. Be the victim. He'd be the victim of a horrible assault. You know what I mean? He'd probably be injured from it, and we'd still fucking make fun of him. What?
I'd come crawling out of the bathroom. No more tacos. No more tacos.
Well, the funniest is I think in the ER, Big Daddy would step up and say, "You need to go over him well because he barely had stubble on his chin before this." It seemed to blow the goatee right out of his face.
Well, that's
horrible.
Yeah, that was
fantastic.
But I mean, I don't think that guy did the right thing. You know, I'm gonna say that putting explosives under a toilet seat is I'm gonna file that under wrong.
Yeah.
Or at least do that in the ladies' room.
Wrong.
Whatever happened to installing video cameras instead of bombs?
Right? I never understood that either, but
Just a good old fashioned peeping. Instead of installing a bomb, why don't you just install a video camera and save yourself some trouble?
Like, I get voyeurism to a certain
extent.
When you're putting when you're putting the camera in the toilet bowl, that's just weird.
I feel like they had to up the ante.
The airline steward just did that. Remember?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, the guy
had an iPhone taped to the bottom of the toilet seat.
Yeah.
He wasn't real good at it though. Like, he just stuck his iPhone in there.
He was terrible.
That was just poor planning on his part. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, didn't no one? I enjoyed the butthole challenge on social media. Anyone remember that one?
The butthole challenge.
The butthole challenge. Yeah. The butthole challenge is when you set your phone up and it's recording, and you set it across the room. You drop your pants. You have to run across the room. Jump. No, you have to run across the room. Jump. Drop your pants, and you're trying to land with your asshole on the camera.
Whoa!
That was the butthole. That was the butthole challenge.
Whoa. Did
Google butthole challenge, you will see.
Google how to give yourself pink eye. That's how you give yourself pink eye. It's that.
No, use the back of the camera. Use the back of the camera. Then. Mostly women. It was mostly women.
Women?
My favorite one was the woman that had a sticker on across her butthole that said something about respecting sex workers, and she does this flying butthole, and she got it to where like right before, like when the sticker comes into perfect view, is she hit the freeze frame. And it's perfectly legible because that's how accurate it was.
Wow.
So
Speaking
I'm showing you guys this picture.
Speaking of landing with your butthole on the camera.
Speaking of the butthole challenge.
Speaking of assholes, right? There's me.
Uh-huh.
And then there's my son, Matthew Jr. And then there's his son, Matthew the third.
Trey.
And that's right, Trip. And
3 generations of
like Trip
Maddie.
better than Trey. Right. Yeah. Now, see, the thing is shortly after this picture was taken, that kid shit like a fountain.
I was gonna ask, who do you suppose shit themselves first?
How did I know you were going to say that? How did I know you were going to say that?
And what you can't see is Matt's phone, and I do it too, where like you'll tuck your phone, like right there. And if it vibrates, you feel it. If it rings, you can hear it, and it's not going anywhere. And he had the child sitting on his lap, forward. Right now, the child's off to the side.
Right.
But he was sitting, basically right not bouncing him, but holding him right here.
Just for the record, most of us just get a watch that vibrates. Like it's a little suspect there, sir.
It's a habit I picked up while I drive. That's where I usually, because the car's got Bluetooth, so it connects. If I have to answer it, I answer it on the dash.
Right.
Right. Anywhere I put the phone, if I stop short or speed up, it's all over I lose it. It disappears on me. And I think Matt does the same thing. He stuffs it right there. And then
if you stuff it in your tank, we call that the prison pocket, that'll save
that's
keeping.
basically where it is. So let me finish the fucking story, Mike. Right. So, and dude, this kid shits a fountain, but Matt didn't notice. Like,
did it come out the back of his diaper and go up his back?
Dude, it came out the sides of his diaper.
Oh.
When I tell you,
no.
Matt was like, oh, this kid shit his pants, and then he went, oh, he shit my pants.
One of the Matts in this picture shit everyone's pants.
He didn't shit my pants. He didn't shit my pants.
He played Rex. He played Rex's game. Who shit my pants?
That's right. Which is why I bring the story up. But it was pretty fantastic. And so Matt, but it was all down inside of his legs. Like it looked like Matt shit himself.
How old is your grandson now?
He was born in June, so he's
born in June.
Yeah, he's young.
We got a couple of months.
Did it look like somebody spilled like a Did it look like somebody broke a whole jar of mustard?
You know what's funny is my mother used to refer, because my mother was a real estate agent in the late 80s, early 90s. My mother was a real estate agent, and she had a thing in her craw about Century 21. And one of the things she would always say is they make you wear that baby shit yellow blazer. So if you can picture in your head the color of a Century 21 blazer, that's the color of this baby shit. And it's funny because there's, it's a very specific color, and it's the exact, let me see.
Isn't that the same color as the it's in golf of the what's the organization?
No,
it's a green
blazer.
It's like the gold blazer. In Happy Gilmore, wasn't Shooter McGavin? Wasn't that what he was rolling around in?
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was a different color.
Okay.
Yeah. The fuck? Come on. There we go.
But I mean, like, it probably would have been better if he'd done it on your pants because your pants look pretty shitty in that photo.
I didn't hear your stupid fucking joke. But
you wore your brown pants that day.
that is a century.
Yeah,
that was a Century 21. Dude, it's funny how close in color this is to the kid's shorts he was wearing, but it looked like shit, you know. And that is a Century 21 blazer, and that is the color that the kid. That's the color of the kid's shit.
Wow.
So there's that.
It's terrible.
And then actually, it's fucking fantastic. But I laughed hard, harder than I should have. I'm starting to kind of think about, because I think I made him feel kind of bad.
There's a lesson. If I have a kid with a full diaper of shit next to me and you laugh and you're sitting next to me, you're getting hit.
Oh, I didn't laugh till it was cleaned up. I didn't laugh till it was cleaned up. I know, trust, dude, I'm a dad. I'm a dad.
The first thing I would have done is just
right. So, and then I got the opportunity to where'd it go?
You got the opportunity.
I think he just had a stroke.
I might have. I had an opportunity to babysit on Sunday. And here we go. Isla was in the studio with Lolly. Yeah, in the studio with Lolly. I'm having too much internet trouble.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Sounds just like her grandpa.
Is that a coin?
Yeah, you want it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so rich. So much money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's a doll, isn't she?
Yeah.
Whose daughter is that?
That's my son's. That's my granddaughter.
That's your granddaughter. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta back up. They can't hear you.
Her name is Isla Wren.
She's adorable.
But yeah, I call her.
I see you.
She'd be hanging out with Pete, making noise.
You heard it though?
Dude, I'm stunned by her fucking grasp of English.
If you talk to him
right
away, man, it's amazing.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I talk to both my grandkids like I'm talking to you.
And they learn better English that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had a great weekend. I thought it was a fucking fantastic, worth talking about. On my end, anyway. You know what I mean? We had a barbecue over my parents' house, is what we did.
Cool.
And called my kid to, come over. So it's fantastic because we go over there and we have to do everything. Right. And but the fun part is we don't know where anything is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a measuring cup. For the longest time, my parents didn't have a sharp knife anywhere.
Oh,
it got so bad, my brother bought my parents a set of knives. Just so they could have like when they go over to cook, they can have a knife.
Up, yeah.
Yeah, to use. Yeah. Fuck.
Never know when you're gonna have to hack something up.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like asking my mother anything. I've learned you have to ask her the right way.
Well, yeah.
You kind of gotta go, Mother, I'm looking for not, hey Ma, where's the fucking towels? You know, if you go, hey Ma, where's
the bitch, Matty? You took them when you moved.
I don't fucking know where the Jesus, Matt. But if you go in and go, hey Ma, I'm looking for a towel. I want to clean this thing up. You know, she's like, oh Matthew, they're in the closet. Oh, okay, thank you, Mother. And then, you know.
So I want to share a story with you guys. I want to do it on the show. I haven't spoken much about my wife's condition. She has PSP. It's progressive supranuclear palsy. It's an atypical Parkinsonism. Presents sort of like Parkinsonism. There's some mobility. There's mobility loss and ultimately some cognitive issues. And we're making our way through it. She's a little hard to understand because slurred speech is one of the issues. But one of the symptoms that we haven't seen yet, which the neurologist continually asks us about, is inappropriate emotion, either crying or laughing at an inappropriate time. We finally got to check that one off last week on Thursday. Her cousin passed away, and we decided to attend to the service. And
shit!
We're sitting in the back, and I was on one side of my wife, and the other side was her younger sister, who's wired a little tight. Doesn't always have the sense of humor. Doesn't always engage first with her. She's usually trying to be a little more proper than that, but we're sitting there and the service goes on and my wife leans over to her and says, "Have you heard?" But again, she's a little difficult to understand. Her sister didn't understand what she said, and I kind of glanced over and her sister looks at me and kind of motions, what am I missing? So my wife leans over to me and says, "Have you heard?" And it immediately clicked with me what was going on. My wife knew that she was going to laugh, and she was taking us all with her at the thing that she was laughing at. And the reason I knew is because she did this to me last week as we were getting.
We were in a meeting last week.
Yes, and she did this, right?
And she just popped in, said, "Have you heard?" And you were like, "What?"
So I know what's going on, right? So I put my arm around and said, "Come on, we need to step out." I get her up. I get her to the rolling walker, and we're making our slow escape to the hallway. And as we're going, she turns back to me and says, I really thought everyone had heard." And I get her out in the hall, and just as the door swings closed behind us, she says, "That the bird is the word," and laughed maniacally in the hallway at the funeral parlor. There are two funeral directors out there who are absolutely appalled. The two of us are standing there laughing so hard there's tears rolling down our face. I get her corralled to this bench, and we sat there. I put my arm around her. I said, you got an appointment with the neurologist next month." She said, "Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to tell him that it finally happened." And she started laughing all over again.
Wow.
Yeah. The most intriguing part of the whole thing for me is that she had while it was happening, she still had enough to realize that it was happening and poke fun at it.
It's almost a compulsion then.
Yes, I've never loved this woman so much in my life. When she when she realized what was going on, she chose violence. She said, "Oh, I'm not gonna laugh. I'm making everybody else laugh. I'm taking every fucking one of you with me."
Right on.
But I mean, she was like, she had it in her head. She just had the song in her head, and she thought it's the juxtaposition of that song in her head at a funeral is fucking funny.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's inappropriate emotion. Dude, you know how many times I've fucking belly laughed at a funeral?
Yeah, but the
I don't know that this is the thing to brag about.
The timing was bad. But
dude,
and honestly, I wouldn't have felt that bad. I did scoop her up and get her out of there to save her any embarrassment. But I'd have been okay with it because when my father-in-law passed away, I was doing the eulogy. And that placed me at the end of a row so that I could duck out to the podium, give the eulogy, and then quietly sit back down with ease. And right in front of me was her Uncle Jimmy, who happened to be the father of the cousin that we went to the funeral for today, or the last week. And Uncle Jimmy was stone deaf to the point that he was carrying a chalkboard around with him so that you could communicate quietly, because he had no idea how loud he was talking when he talked. Just as the service is getting ready to, the funeral director gets up and says, "Okay, everybody, we want to make your way to your seats. We're gonna get underway here in just a few minutes." And just as everybody started to quiet down a little bit, Uncle Jimmy looks next to him, and his other nephew, Father Chet, who happens to be an Episcopal minister or Episcopal priest, and he says, "Hey, Father, you think when this is over, we could get some lunch over at the Hooters?" Except Uncle Jimmy didn't know how loud he was being. He was shouting. It was the best. And my father-in-law would have absolutely loved it. But it was the best tension breaker that could ever be. So, like, I wouldn't have felt bad if she broke up everybody, but I got her out of there for her to save face,
Yeah.
So when Doodle's father-in-law died, he was standing in reception, and I guess he didn't really expect me to come. He was really happy that I
the receiving line.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss," and I'm talking to him. His whole family's there. I'm talking to him, right? And you gotta understand, this is a time for revenge. So I go, I say, so what happened? And he's like, "Yeah, dude, it was last Thursday. We just went in, and he was gone, and he was suffering from cancer and stuff. Like, he was suffering, but
right."
I was like, "Dude, last Thursday? Holy shit! That's the day I stopped by to see him. I went in through the window. He waved to me like this, and then he was so happy he clutched his chest to show me how heartfelt it was. But then he took a nap."
Wow.
Where he immediately started laughing hysterically. Because that's what he said to me when my grandmother died in 1996. And I was distraught. You know what I mean? And he said that, and I was like, "You are a motherfucker." Just because, we used to say shit to each other just all the time.
Sure.
Him and you got to understand, very few of my friendships started out under nice circumstances. Most of the lasting friendships started from conflict. Me and this dude, when I joined a band, and this was the guitar player, but me and the other guitar player got along. He was the one, I was the bass player, and Doodles was the other guitar player, and me and him fucking hate each other. I threw a big wheel at him.
You did what?
I threw a big wheel at him. I was so mad.
They were 7.
No, we used to practice in in his dad's garage, and his dad's stepkids would come over like on the weekends.
Right.
So the backyard was like full of all these toys, and he pissed me off, and I was chasing him and I couldn't catch him. So I scooped up the big wheel. I fucking hucked it. I hit him right in the head. So
Now, wait a minute. Was it the full size big wheel or was it that little baby size one?
no, it was a full size big wheel.
Oh wow! All right.
Even better, I threw a fucking recliner at him. That was. We were friends at that point. We were living together, and we were fighting about something, and I threw a recliner at him. Like a full size.
Wow.
I used to be a big hulking maniac. Like I don't think people understand how like strong, because Sanizak muscles are different than other muscles. You kind of have to understand that. Like we can
like Southern muscle.
Yeah, dude.
Like retards.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Weight is one thing. Distribution is another. You have to, if you know where the brunt of the weight is, then you can control it much better. And I knew where because I'm the one that carries everything. I knew how to throw things. So I threw a fucking recliner.
And you knew how to throw your weight behind it to make it happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So yeah. But most of my friends that I meet it's been because I was a complete asshole to them for a while. And I think that's why you guys are my friends, because I was actually I'm editing the Dre's episode of Stepmoms, and they go into the first time.
Wait, so they interviewed you, Dre?
Yes. I am quite the storyteller.
You want to be on the show?
I'm actually really excited to listen to that episode.
It's definitely a different look.
Because I know how Ricky runs her show. I've done it. And I know how I reacted to that. And it's a comfortable place, and you start talking. So I'm really excited to hear you talk with Ricky.
Yeah,
and it's an eye-opening experience. And I got a behind the scenes, because there's stuff I had to take out. There's an edit format to what's going on.
I'm gonna have to flip back over to the Stepmoms with Children podcast in a day or two. Hear the new episode.
I think there's a couple new episodes you haven't heard there, Pete.
Yeah, there's a couple, because I switched over to the Media Virus, and I'm on episode 23. 23? Yeah.
Wow.
Episode 21 episode 21 had like 4 parts.
That was one of the long ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have a D block.
Yeah.
Oh, there was another D block? Because if you look at episode 82 is where the first Mike Hawk starts.
Yeah.
And that's in a D block. That's a by itself. But yeah, no.
Episode 21, I believe, was split into 4 pieces.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
I mean,
do you remember what the major topics or the guest was?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I wonder. No, I'd probably like lose you guys if I tried to go look at my Spotify app for the episode information. But no, I was cranking through them today.
That's awesome.
Like the 22nd episode was like probably one of the shortest episodes you guys have done so far, in like I said, or at least that I've experienced so far listening to the old episodes.
Huh. That's interesting. But so I was, get back to the story. I was editing Dre's episode. Dre and Ricky were kind of reminiscing about the first time they met face to face.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was surprised
Kung Fu
at
fighting? What?
how much of a gentleman I was to my wife.
Yes. Yeah.
And because they knew me as this dark humored, sadistic asshole, you know.
I nearly needed an air sickness bag listening to you guys.
When?
On the Stepmoms with Children.
Without children.
Without children. Stepmoms without children.
Without children.
Listening to it. Yeah, you guys are sickeningly cute on there.
Yeah, I put on a little bit of a more tender, tender face with my wife's podcast. One, I'm trying to get her audience to come over here, and then they'll figure out who I am. You know what I mean?
You're just luring them in.
Yeah. I'm trying to lure them, and that's why Ricky's on, the beginning of our podcast.
Sure.
I mean, so she, in case there's somebody who wants to interact, and she's funny, really, really fucking funny.
Yeah.
If she's paying attention, which she's not most of the time, but even when she's not, she's pretty fucking funny.
Well, I told you when I was doing the audio for last week, she had I don't even remember what the line was, but she had a throwaway line in.
You're busy that day.
It was just brilliant.
You're busy that day was the throwaway line.
That's right.
I wanted to start a band called the Diabetic Monks.
That says I want to start a band.
Yes.
That day. It was brilliant. It was well placed, and I didn't hear it until I was working the audio. So,
Big Daddy, we are coming up on show season, right? For you.
Yes, but there are no dates yet.
No dates yet, but you're gearing up, you know.
But we are back in practice mode. The Squirrels are back in practice mode. Fearless are back in practice mode. I think this coming Monday. So I'll probably have some dates by the next show.
Fantastic.
Spectacular.
You'll see Pete along highways and byways of Delaware driving his new Dodge Avenger with his Bluetooth stereo and his... What year is it? 2008?
No, 2012.
2012?
I just ordered a wireless backup camera for it today.
And if you want to go for a ride in Pete's new car, you can check him out on Lyft.
If you need to buy some ammunition, I'll be behind the Cabela's.
I'll be selling some of that out of the trunk.
So we want to remind everybody, we do have his phone number. You can call us throughout the week. 646-virus-01. You can leave us a message.
Yeah.
The messages get checked every week. And
I left one earlier.
Yeah, we tried to. Yeah, I had a little trouble answering. I got to look into that. But
I left you one earlier.
Yeah, I know, because we left you on mute, and I'm sorry about that, Pete. I was looking at a different screen.
It's okay. It's okay. It's been a weird.
I need to get the dual monitor setup of this thing working so I can keep StreamYard in one monitor and then look at, navigate through the web pages that we go through.
Yeah, I have that set up on my Chromebook. It's really easy on the Chromebook, anyways. Okay. What are you working with? You're working with an AirPad or whatever.
He has one of those devices.
iPad.
It's a Mac Mini. So basically, it's got the power of a laptop, but it doesn't have a screen by itself, and it doesn't have the keyboard or anything. So.
Okay.
But the second monitor has to be able to be hooked in a certain way.
Yeah, I'm about to start working on my triple monitor setup.
Well, don't. Did you get something better than a Chromebook? Because I don't know if a Chromebook's
No,
gonna...
I know. No, I know. I'm going to need something better than a Chromebook to do that, but
Yeah.
I'm going to start looking for something to do that with.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm actually getting ready to start building. Well, not building, but like really putting my studio the way it should be, so I can maybe be on par with you guys.
dude, I'm gonna have wheels soon, so I'll be happy to come over and
I would love some of your input on it.
Kind of, walk through the tech side of what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'm gonna be buying some sort of acoustic cushioning for the walls.
Maybe we'll see.
I do like walls.
But I think episode 199 has run its course, guys.
It has.
Oh boy, you mean we're on the verge of
episode 200 is what we're working 200. On next. So Pete, any like ideas from the early episodes that you've been listening to that you think, even just deserve a mention?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to put those together and get those to you.
Yeah. I mean, if you can give us exact times, that'd be fucking awesome. But if you can't, you can't,
Time codes.
Dude, not for nothing. You guys have fucking 200 episodes.
Yeah.
You guys have stuck with me for almost 4 fucking years. I mean, you come in year 2?
Yeah. Did I come in year 2? I guess somewhere in there.
You came in or late year 1.
Yeah.
Well, Pete's been with us officially now for over 100 episodes.
It's got to be over 100 episodes.
Pete debuted on episode 96.
96.
All right, so 100 episodes, 100 weeks. That's almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And you've been as diligent as the rest of us. You have made sure to be a part of the show at every turn. I can't thank you enough, especially for all the shit we give you. You could stop making the fucking noises. You know what I mean? The noises really get on my, that really gets on my nerves. And that's when the abuse gets bad. You know what I mean? That's when I'm really abusing you and not joking.
I shouldn't like tap this mic with my finger.
That doesn't bother me, but when you start opening chips and opening boxes and shit, don't fucking do it.
You mean like these?
They're at the ready.
Oh yeah. No. This is my snack bag for the car. Ask me what I have in there.
An anal, dude. Real quick. I'm sorry to do this to you guys.
No, do it.
I have to tell you another story because I don't know if you know this, but it exists a product that you can buy to shove up an infant's ass to help them to shit or to help them to fart. It's a straw-like thing, that you would shove. You'd shove up an infant's ass, and it helps them.
Is the word felch anywhere in the name?
No, please don't. Please. Please.
Do you think if you whittled a little hole in it like a flute, it would whistle?
Yes.
So, should I stop using my penis?
What?
Whoa.
I mean, finger? I mean, was that too much?
Too much. Too much.
That might have been too much.
Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes, Big Daddy.
What was that number again?
646 virus 01. I'd like to remind everybody that the views expressed by Kelly McFadden and Big Daddy do not necessarily reflect the views of the Media Virus Podcast. Dude, when it's me saying this, you said something fucked up.
That,
You know what I mean?
that was fucked up.
When I go, man, that made me cringe. What the fuck, dude?
That's great.
I gotta tell you, I love my therapist. If you need somebody to talk to, she's fantastic.
Does she know?
That's all right. I'm
What's
on
that?
meds now. It's okay.
Does she know about the show?
Yeah, you're on meds. That's the part.
That's great.
That's the disturbing part. This is you feeling better.
Oh shit.
How do we end on that note? How?
Well, we can use the Mike Hawk gets in the car and leaves.
Let's do that.
And then we can also pull up and get someplace else.
I thought you were gonna pull up like Primus. Jerry was a race car driver at the beginning of that.
No.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be. But it's also it's music we can't use. So
I bring that up because you guys were talking about music on the episode that I listened to today of the previous episodes. So yeah.
Well, there you go. But I bring this up because what was I gonna fucking say?
You were gonna say, speaking of giving the finger, tune in next week.
Oh yeah. Next week we are going to be in C Block. We're going to be redoing the Mike Hawk. We have yet to release episode 4. Episodes 1 through 3 are already released. We're gonna recreate them. We're gonna go back in and give it some new voice. And and then while doing that, we're diligently trying to complete episode 4 and then start episode 5 and then go from there. But we do want to remind everybody who Mike Hawk is, what the story's about, and the friendships and the interweaving of people's lives. It's a dramedy. What?
You're gonna tell everybody about Mike Hawk?
Yes. I think the world needs to know Mike Hawk. The world needs to be exposed to Mike Hawk. That's
Mike Hawk, Private Dick.
right. So tune in next week. That's what we're doing in C Block. I don't know what we're talking about in A Block because we try to be topical. So anything that happened from right now or even before air, anything that happened today, next Wednesday, actually next Tuesday is fair game. Then we sit down.
I just thought of something.
I'm glad you interrupted me to tell me what you thought of, Pete. Go ahead.
For the love of God, if y'all don't let this man finish the show at 11:15.
Finish up, Matty. I'll say it when he's done.
You say it right fucking now, Pete.
I'm not gonna. All right, fine. No. It just a note I wanted to bring up to you guys before we're done for the evening.
Wonderful.
Finish what you were saying. You're like a child.
I forget what I was fucking saying, Pete. What I was saying was something about how we do the show. Yeah, so anything from now to next Tuesday, this is what we do. Around the same time we start the show, we sit down for a meeting on Tuesday night, and we go over what we're going to fucking do. You believe that shit? Then I compose a form that Mike created and curated for 195 episodes. But I've taken on that mantle, and I think I've done a hell of a job. I think.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think it's good, and you can navigate every part of the show from that document. Pretty fucking cool.
And I use that document to create the show notes that you get in the podcast. So
That's right.
you can click into the links get moved over and everything.
And then from there, I take the news stories we decide to talk about, I run them through AI, ask them for a news read, tamper with the news read so Mike says something fucking weird or horrible, and then move on and do that 3 fucking times. You know? And then I take that complete document that I created with all 3 stories, I run that through AI and say, please give me a description of this video script. So I use a lot of AI, but I feel like I do a lot of work anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to feel like the work that we put into this show is deserving of some attention. You know what I mean?
So tell a friend.
Like I feel like here's the thing is I feel like there's like an imposter syndrome thing happening. You know what I mean? Because I started hosting the show as kind of like a gag because there's no reason I should be the fucking host.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like a background character at best, but then here I am trying to muddle my way through, you know?
Uh-huh.
So there's always been a little bit of like promoting the show has kind of been like, I kind of feel like an asshole. Well, I have felt like an asshole 199 times. I'm getting used to it. And it's just, I feel like we've got the backlog and we've for respect in the podcast community. You know what I mean? And it's time for us to like take our space in the world.
Yeah.
If 4 years is enough.
Simply for
4
staying.
years is enough practice. What's that?
If for nothing else, simply for staying power.
Yes. So, but now, Pete had something that he wanted to add to the show before we ended it. No.
His mouth.
Is he throwing a temper tantrum, or he just didn't think he wants to say it after we end the show, but while we're still on?
There you go, right there.
Okay, now I've got a better grasp of what fucking Pete wants. I'm sorry, I have a grasp of what Pete fucking wants. I had to put the right emphasis.
Who was it? You gotta put the cuss word at the end of the word.
That was Bill Burr when he was talking
Bill
about.
Burr. Yeah.
He was talking about how black guys tell stories and how white guys tell stories.
Yeah. Oh, this fucking Asian guy.
He's like, whoa. He's like, this Asian motherfucker comes in. He's like, I'm intrigued. What this Asian motherfucker do? Tell me more. All right, bring us home, Mike. Let's end this fucking thing.
Once again, you have listened to the 199th episode of the Media Virus Podcast, and on behalf of Grease Monkey Pete and our fearless leader, Matty Rockdeff, I'm Professor Mike Latorre coming from to you live in Uncle Butch Studios. We'll see you next week right here on the Media Virus Podcast.
Oh man, that was good. Another good show, guys.
All right, we're clear from recording.
We're clear from. Wait.